Hello, and welcome to this new episode of us building Pairi Daiza. We are at episode 8 already, which is really awesome. At the 10th episode, I will make a walkthrough of everything we've created so far, which will contain this oasis, the bird show area, the petting zoo and the farm area, the camels, and a part of the Southern Cape, which I've worked on last episode. In this episode, we will be finishing the Oasis, a huge greenhouse in Pairi Daiza, which is home to a lot of birds, sloths, small monkeys, and meerkats. So I want to say a quick thank you to Senna van den Broek for pointing that out in episode 6. Because last time I went to Pairi Daiza, I haven't been inside the Oasis, so I wasn't 100% sure what was in there exactly. And using your comment, I will be building a Chinese pangolin habitat, 2 exhibits, and some Capuchin monkeys on the inside island we built in episode 6. So for the start of this Chinese pangolin habitat, I used one picture I had from inside and shaped the terrain and pots accordingly. It's fun to play around with small raises of terrain so people can get a better viewpoint, as well as it giving a more realistic feel than a completely flat area. I think so far most of Pairi Daiza in Planet Zoo is rather flat, but I've been working on that while building the Southern Cape, and it's only gonna improve from here on out. For the pathing right here, I just went with what looked good in game, and this probably doesn't look like the real life thing, where the paths are smaller and more easily intertwined. So let's talk a little bit about the habitats I'm building. On the picture I could see them having a little bit of a sleeping area behind the glass, so that's what I'm adding here. At least I think it's a sleeping area, I'm not 100% sure, but anyways, I'm using this as a little bit of a sleeping area, which I think looks quite good. The pangolin can't actually get in there though, because I couldn't get it to look good with the rocks and the concrete wall and the glass itself. So it just gives off the idea that the pangolin could sleep there, but they can't actually reach it anyways. For the rest of this habitat, we're using the new red desert rock to wall it all off. These rocks have multiple different shapes, which I really love to get that variety in there, making it look a lot more natural. And especially these really small square ones, they are really awesome to create a little wall. And then next to that we'll add a little wooden wall so people can look over, which gives it even more variety. And I can already imagine kids trying to find a good spot near one of the smaller branches to look over, which I think is really neat. So for this wall I just used the Planet Zoo branches and copied them at different heights, which I think looks quite good, because what I used to do was just like copy them all at the same height, but then what you don't get is that variety and that like this gives it a lot more, like it just plays down, it's a lot more natural, which I think looks way better. And then for this habitat, at first I just made the small like square oval shape to for the pangolin to walk in, but then afterwards I decided to make the habitat a little bigger up to the corner on the left, which you can see me do now. And this, in my opinion, looks quite neat, because now the pangolin have a little bit of a corner that is more separated from the rest. At the end you'll see me add a lot more branches and stuff, so it's even a little more walled off than the rest of the habitat. So if pangolin would want like a little bit of alone time, they could get into that corner, and I think they wouldn't be disturbed by the others as much as they would be on the central square. So now I added this habitat gate, which I just walled off with some rocks, because I didn't really want it to be visible, because for this habitat I didn't feel like it would be necessary to have a door there, like the keepers could just step over the wall, it wouldn't be a real problem. And since guests and staff can just walk through these rocks and stuff, I thought this was a neat way to solve it, which, I mean, it looks okay in my opinion right now. So what I'm gonna be doing now is add some nature, because nothing looks good in Planet Zoo without some trees and plants. So for this habitat I just used some tropical and desert plants, which I also used in the rest of the Oasis, which I think turns out quite neat. I mean, it's not too busy with plants, it's still mostly rocks, which I think is mostly in this picture as well, which I used. I mean, there's mostly just rocks and maybe some plants, but I didn't really want it to be overgrown like the rest of the Oasis will be later. And for the top of this wall, I didn't really want to add any big plants, because I felt like people could still look over those rocks, even though you probably couldn't see all too much of this habitat from up there. But I thought if people wanted to do that, I couldn't really put a plant in there, so it wouldn't really be in the way of their view. So I just saw some vines would be great for this place, so it would look a little greener, but it wouldn't really be in the way of their view. And for this next part of habitat building, we'll be adding some trees, mostly just dead trees and logs, so the pangolin can walk over them. They don't really need any cover or anything for them, so I thought this would make it look a little neater, a little more filled up. And then we'll add some food stations, some drink stations, and all that for the pangolin to drink and eat from. So sit back, enjoy, and I'll see you back in a minute. For the next part of this episode, I'll be building a blue-tongued lizard exhibit from the new Australian DLC. This is going to be a really simple building with some nature around, using mostly the Australian decoration as well as these Australian wood walls. And these new metal roofs, they are so nice. I use them everywhere in the zoos I build. They are really, like, they fit everywhere. I think I used them in the other roof in the Oasis as well, because it fits everywhere, this roof. So I'm using this here as well, which I think is, as I said, it's really neat. So for this building, it's really simple. It's just gonna be some walls and then some decorations. So I stepped off the square shape, which I really don't like, and I just moved this wall up 1 meter. And I would recommend that to everyone. If you're building an exhibit that's just standalone and it's just one exhibit, then try to step off from the square shape of it just by moving it up 1 or 2 meters, and it makes it look so much better. And after this exhibit, we'll also be building a bathroom in the same style. It's gonna be the same Australian style. There's gonna be a little more decoration and a little different decorations than we used here, but it's gonna be the same building style because I wanted to keep it uniform across the whole Oasis. I will leave you here and see you at the end of this episode, where we will do a full walkthrough of the Oasis, including everything we've built in the previous episode, because there have been quite some changes around, so stay tuned for that. Please smash that like button, it really helps out a lot, and if you like this content, then please do subscribe. I make at least one video a week of us building Pairi Daiza, which is gonna turn into a huge and really beautiful park. So if you like it, please do subscribe. I appreciate it a lot and it helps the channel a lot as well. And as always, comment what you think about today's build. I look forward to reading and replying each one of them. was the entire episode, so I hope you enjoyed it. Let's walk through the whole Oasis now and see what it has become. So if you like this video, do smash that like button, I appreciate it a lot. And subscribe if you like this content. I will bring out a new video every week. I try to make 2 videos every week even. So I hope you enjoy it, and sit back, relax and enjoy this walkthrough. And I will see you in the next one. Bye.